Hey, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a versus video for you guys. So for this video, we'll be talking about two albums, and these two albums are both from legendary heavy metal bands, and those two bands are Iron Maiden and Queensryche. Now the two albums that we'll be talking about in this video are Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime. Now, to be fair, to be honest, both these albums are actually my favorites from each band, Seventh Son being my favorite Iron Maiden album, and Operation Mindcrime being my favorite Queensryche album. And what do these two albums have in common? Well, I do believe that they did release on the same year, 1988, and these are both metal concept albums. So, let's first go ahead and talk about Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Honestly, like I said, my favorite Iron Maiden album, and there's a couple songs on this album that would easily make my top 3 Iron Maiden song list, such as The Evil That Men Do. Absolutely love this song, everything from Bruce's vocals to the guitar work. And another song would be The Clairvoyant, another favorite Iron Maiden track for me personally. Very great and just memorable. But there are, of course, other great tracks on the album, like Can I Play With Madness, which is a big hit for them. Very fun, memorable, and catchy. You also have the title track on here, which is an epic. I especially really like the solo work at the end, where it's just all instrumentals. I mean, that's a really fun part of the song. Really great. And I think Only the Good Die Young is a good album closer on this album. So, yeah, overall, this album has no skips. It's maybe one of my favorite albums of all time as well. Just maybe. But absolutely great album. And again, it's probably my favorite from the band. My favorite used to be Power Slave. That was actually the album that got me into the band. But this album here has kind of risen up as my favorite over time. So, great album, definitely a classic. And then as for Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime, again, my favorite Queensryche album. Now, in my opinion, Queensryche has only really had 5 good albums, and that would be the first 5, of course. Well, first 6 if you want to include the self-titled EP. I do dig the EP quite a bit, actually. Everything that came after their first 5 to 6 albums for me have either just not been good or hasn't held up that well. Yeah, I do prefer the Jeff Tate era of Queensryche, especially this particular era, you know, the 80s, early 90s era of Queensryche. And this here, I think, is really where they were at their best. I mean, could I live without the interludes? Sure. I really don't return to the interludes. Like, if I'm returning to individual songs on this album, I really don't see any point in going to the interludes. I mean, if you were to listen to the entire album in full, then yeah, you know, I could see not skipping the interludes, especially since it's telling a story. I mean, again, these are concept albums here. And there's a lot of great tracks on this album, and in my opinion, this does have some of Queensryche's best work. I mean, you have great tracks on here like Revolution Calling, the title track, Speak, Spreading the Disease, The Mission. You have I Don't Believe in Love and Breaking the Silence as well. And you also have one of my favorites, if not probably my favorite Queensryche song ever, The Eyes of a Stranger. I absolutely love this song, everything from Jeff's vocal work to the guitar work. It's just really fun and memorable. Really great track. The album overall just has a really big and epic sound to it, and I really dig it. I really dig what Queensryche was going for here, and yeah, definitely great stuff, and also a classic. But as for the winner of this video, which of these two albums would I say is the better album? Which is the winner of this video? Well, for me, I'd have to go with Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. This is the winner of this video. Again, probably my favorite Iron Maiden album, and really the main reason I choose this album as the winner is mostly because, well, number one, I do like Iron Maiden more than Queensryche. I mean, I do like Queensryche to an extent. I mean, again, they've only really had a few good albums in my opinion, so, I mean, that's one of many reasons anyway. And like I said about the interludes, I mean, I don't really return to the interludes. I mean, it's not really Queensryche's fault for that or this album's fault for that, because, like I said, I get that they're telling a story here, but it's just a preference thing, that's all. And that's all these Versus videos are just preferences. I mean, if you like this album more than this album, that's totally fine. But for this video, Seventh Son is the winner of this video. So let me know what you think. Which album do you like more? Again, I think both albums are great, and they're both classics, of course, but feel free to let me know what you think. So with that said, thanks for watching, and have a good one.